All right, class, coming at you with a bunch of polynomial functions today and all kinds of stuff. Dealing with them. We got degree, we got type, we got the word cubic and quartic. Let's start with descending order. So descending order is all about your exponents. So if we start with x to the fifth, and then x to the fourth, and then x to the third, x squared, x to the first, it's your powers that are in descending order. You start with 5 and you kind of work your way down. They are in order. So what happens is you get these functions and they are not in order. It might be something like x to the third plus x to the fourth minus x, maybe a number out there. So you've got to walk up to the problem and you've got to rearrange it to put it in descending order. So find your largest power. Boom, right there. Fourth power is the largest. And you make him first. He's your leadoff man. And then third would be next. And then your x, fourth, third, first power. And then any number with no variable at all, no x at all, it gets stuck on the end. So this is putting your equation, your polynomial function, in descending order. Okay. Let's do a couple more of those. 1, a 2, a 3. Let's say we got some stuff here. All right, I've got this function. Don't be tricked by the numbers out in front, your coefficients. Don't be tricked by the 17, the -3, the half. Don't let them decide anything. When you put this in descending order, it's all about your exponents. So find your largest exponent, and he goes first. Whoops, wrong order. So x to the sixth, he's first. Fifth power is the next largest. He is second. And so you put them in order, largest power, next largest power, on down the hill. So don't let the 17 and the -3 decide anything. It's definitely the powers that make the decisions in what order to put them in. All right, descending order. First thing we got to get done today. Feeling good about that. All right, next thing we got to talk about degrees. So we got to do the degree of the function. Now the thing that helps me remember, degree is always tied to your largest exponent. So whatever your largest exponent is, that's going to decide the degree of the function. All right, let's get one going here. Let's say we had f of x equal to 12 x to the third minus 2/3 x plus 10. Let's say we've got this crazy polynomial function, and the question is, hey, what's the degree of this? You're like, well, check your largest power. So third power, first power, largest power, your 3, that's going to be your degree. And it's actually in descending order already. So degree decided by largest exponent, that's how you find that. Let's do another one. F of x is equal to, let's do a crazy one here. All right, we've got this humongous polynomial function. And I might even take the time to rewrite this. Let's put it in descending order. Fifth power is first, third power, 9x, and then just my square root of 7 on the end. Fifth power, third power, first power, no power at all. That puts it in descending order. And what we're doing now is we're saying, okay, to find degree, it's based off my largest exponent. So when asked the degree of the function, you're like, oh, degree, it's 5. Degree 5. So that's how we find that. And that also kind of leads us into the next thing we've got to do, a thing called leading coefficient. Let's do that. Number 6. So, next thing you got to find, we put them in descending order. We found degree. Next up is the thing called leading coefficient. Let's get a function up here. Negative x, 3/5 x to the 4th, square root of 5x squared plus 14. So you get a function like this, clearly not in order. So you may have to take the time, put this guy in order. Let's find our largest exponent, right there, 4th power. So we're going to make this first, looks like square root of 5x squared is second, then minus x, and then my number. And remember that, guys, anytime that you've got a number, 14, no letter, he's on the end. All right, so if we were asked degree, we know already, like, oh, degree, that's 4. But now we're on a new thing where we have to identify the leading coefficient. So go to what's first, your big dog right here, this 3/5 x to the 4th. Coefficient is what you have right in front of it. In this case, it's not a number, it's a fraction. So my leading coefficient for this be 3/5. So degree 4, leading coefficient 3/5. And it's in descending order. Learning all kinds of terminology today. Let's do another leading coefficient one. All right, here we go. So 4/7 x squared minus 10x to the 5th plus 9x minus 6. Okay, first thing you do on these leading coefficients, take this, which is not in descending order, fix it so that it is in descending order. Let's go. 10x to the 5th, 4/7 x squared, plus 9x minus 6. So 5 is my big one, then squared, then first, then nothing with a number. So if you were asked degree, you're like, degree's 5. Question this time, though, is what is my leading coefficient? So we're looking for what's out in front of my largest power. The coefficient of my largest power, -10, that's my answer. That is my leading coefficient. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. So f of x is equal to 8x square root of 5x cubed plus 2 minus 6x squared. So we'll do one more of the leading coefficients, then we're going to jump on to the types. Not in order. So I want to take the time to put these in descending order. Looks like that's my big one. Negative square root of 5x cubed minus 6x squared plus 8x plus 2. So degree, that's going to be 3. Leading coefficient, and this time it looks a little crazy, guys. But it doesn't matter. Whatever you've got sitting right out in front of here, if it's a fraction, if it's a number, if it's a square root, we will take it. So negative square root of 5, that's my leading coefficient for number 8. All right, so we've done degrees, we've done leading coefficient, we've done descending order. Now we got to do types. We're going to do type. All right, here we go. Let's go. F of x is equal to, say, just a number. How about 8? And we've got to say what type of function this is. Now, if it's just a number, there's no variable on it, there's no x, there's no lecture. If that's the case, the type on this is called a constant. So when you have to identify the type of function today, no x, it's called a constant function. All right, let's do a regular one. Let's jump up like f of x is equal to, how about like 3x plus 5. You're like, okay. Now, when you look at your largest power of x is x to the first. That's your largest power, degree 1. This is called a linear function. So constant function, no x at all. Linear function, right there, x to the first. Let's do another one. Let's say we have like x squared plus 8x plus 15. So when you get this, your largest power is a squared, a second power, it's degree 2. Labeling that is called a quadratic. We probably already knew that. We've done a bunch of quadratic formula and worked with these quadratic functions already. Let's do third power. Let's say we had x to the cube minus x minus 6. Let's say we had something like this. So my largest power is a 3, degree 3. In that case, you're going to label this one as third, gets labeled as a cubic. So kind of a cool word. You don't use that very often. And let's jump up one more. Let's go x to the 4th plus x cubed minus x minus 7, let's say. So when you've got a degree 4, so largest power 4, and you have to say what type of function this is, the word for the 4 is called quartic. So when it's 4th power, degree 4 is your largest power, cool word, quartic. So these are the types. Feeling good about that. Degree 4, degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, degree 0. Okay, let's see here. I'm kind of lost what number we're on. We'll call that one, we'll just say that was 9. We'll call this guy 10. Okay, so when you get this function, you've got this function, you think, okay, I can put this in descending order. I can reorder it real quick. Negative 13x to the 4th plus 9x cubed, 1/4 x squared plus 3x. So 4th power is the biggest, so degree 4, leading coefficient, negative 13. But what we're looking at now on this number 10 is we're looking at types. We're looking at what type is this? Is it linear? Is it constant? Is it quartic, cubic, quadratic? So 4th power makes it a quartic. So 4th power is quartic. Let's do another one. Call this 11. F of x. Let's go square root of 3 minus 12x plus 5x squared. So you take a look at this one. 5x squared is first, then x, then square root of 3. So it's degree 2, largest power is 2. When we go to classify what type that is with a 2, this is one of our favorites. So it's called a quadratic, is how we label it by type of function, quadratic. So degree 2, quadratic. Okay guys, one of the last things we got to do here, 11, I think this is maybe 12 now, is we've got to determine, whoops, not a very good E. So we got to determine if it is a polynomial function. So like, yes, it's a polynomial function. Yes, it's a function. Or not a polynomial function. So this is a yes it is or no it's not. I'm going to show you a couple that make it not a pretty easy way to see it really fast. It's not a polynomial function. So let me get one up here that's a good example of what does not work. All right, here we go. Let's say you've got x to the third minus x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, so here's the story. Everything looks good, but how about instead of first power, I made that a -1. So if you're given a function with a negative right there, and the question is it polynomial, is it not polynomial? As soon as you see a negative exponent, no way, not happening, not a polynomial function. Negative exponent, do not. So not a polynomial function. So that's an easy way to exclude one right off the bat. So that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That takes the whole thing down, doesn't work. Here, I'll show you another one that doesn't work. So we'll call this 13. Let's do one more that doesn't work. 15 minus x cubed plus 7 over x plus x squared. Okay, so for this one, you're trying to decide, okay, is it a polynomial function? Is it not a polynomial function? So this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. The bad news here is you have this x that's in the denominator. If the x is in the denominator, that's a no-go. So that is also not a polynomial function. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine, but anytime your x is on the bottom, not happening. Okay, let's do one more, kind of get the confusion out of that. So 14. Let's say we have 1/5 x squared, square root of 7x cubed minus 10 plus x. Okay, we look at this one, and you're thinking, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But you see this x with a fraction? Don't let this bother you. If it's a number on bottom, that's fine. If the x squared is out in front, that's like slope, like 1/5 x squared. We see that a lot. So this is okay. Where it's bad, if it had been this is bad if it was on bottom. This is fine when it's right next to it. So this is good, it's okay, it's a function. The only way it doesn't work if it's completely on bottom. So you see on functions, you see this written with the fraction out in front of the x a lot. That just means the x is on top. All right, guys, lots of cool stuff today. Lots of terminology, cubic, quartic, degree, leading coefficient. Get it all organized, get it done.